Yeah, close that up.
Okay, hey everybody, this is Dustin.
And Mahbooba, assalamu alaikum, everybody.
So we're doing
And this
another
is
live
Deborah.
interview. Yeah, so we haven't done an interview for a long time. So when people start to show up, we will say hello, of course. But it's nice to be back at it. Today we have one of our beautiful, successful success stories in our business. So go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hey, hello everyone. Thank you, Dustin and Mabuba, for having me, for hosting me
Thanks
tonight.
for
My name
joining
is
with us.
Deborah. Accurately, I am Nigerian, but I'm based in Dallas, Texas. I'm a registered nurse. I've been a nurse for 15 years and counting. I'm still at the bedside. I love what I do. I mean, taking care of people and all of that. But yes, and I'm also a proud digital business owner earning from the digital space. I am married. I have 4 kids, wonderful kids. And yeah, I think that's like the long and short of me. That's like the
Perfect.
summary. But I'm
Yeah,
I'm
very good.
excited to be here. I'm excited to be here. I'm excited to meet you guys.
We really appreciate you join with us. Thank you for your time. Thank you
Thank you
so
for
much.
inviting me.
Okay.
So the burning question that everybody always asks everybody that starts a digital business, why did you want to start a digital business in the first place? Tell us your story on that.
Oh, well, actually, like I said earlier, I am a registered nurse, and when we relocated to this country, of course, it took me a while to get all of that part where because I started as a CNA, and then when I passed my NCLEX, my board, and then I transitioned to the RN role. Yes, but of course, you know how it is for nurses. Any nurse that is listening to this, you know how it is. We're working the long 12-hour shifts. We're picking up the extra shifts. We're working the overtime, and sometimes we feel like the truth actually is that we don't even get paid as much as we should for all the work we do. But
Yeah.
at the time that I came across this business 2 years ago now, at that time I was really exhausted. I felt like I was burnt out. And
Mm.
besides even the whole COVID and everything like that, COVID did its own. But even besides that, although nurses were making a lot of money at that time, picking up all of these travel jobs and all, it was good money for those that were doing like the travel part, but I was actually just picking up local contracts because I didn't want to leave my family. I already leave them, my kids home 3 nights a week already. And then if I had to pick up a travel contract, then I would actually be away for 16 weeks, 20 weeks at a time for some of them. So I was picking up local contracts. But even though it was a contract, it was still full-time hours. So I was working my full-time job, 3 shifts, 3 nights a week. And then I had the contracts job, 3 shifts a week. So I was working 6 nights every week. Some of the contracts, some were 13 weeks straight. So for 13 weeks, I was working 6 nights a week, only home one day every week. And then for the shorter contracts, like the 8 weeks, 9 weeks, so sometimes I'll finish one contract, rest a week or two, and then pick up another contract. But at that time, I started to feel really exhausted. I knew that I was burnt out. And then my blood pressure started to go up, and I kept having this headache that just would not go away. So at some point, I started to tell myself, okay, I think at this point now something needs to give, because I've heard of people that work and work and work and work, and they just get home one day, they get on the bed and they never wake up. And I'm like, this is probably how their life looked. you know like, this is probably what they were doing, working, working, working to pay bills, continuing this cycle, and all of a sudden their body just shuts down. And I didn't want to be that. My kids were still young, so I started to think outside of the box of the bedside, like something needed to change. And I was
Yeah.
at work that day, and I came across my mentor's ad that came up, and I remember I signed up for it, and I actually watched it. It was one of those nights where we weren't so busy, so I signed up for it, and I watched the free webinar there, right there at work. And then when I was done watching, and there were some instructions at the end to follow, and things like that. And I'm like, you know what? At this point right now, I'm working so much, but I'm still just paying bills. I need time freedom. I need to rest. Something just needed to change. And even when I was going to, pay our refundable membership fee, when I picked my credit card, I'm like, well, the credit card is already maxed out anyway, so I'm not going to go bankrupt, more bankrupt if I pay this. So I remember I paid it. I'm like, even if it's not refundable at this point, I don't even care anymore because I've ordered so many things online. And when it came, I found out it was not even, you know, how this is the picture you see, but when they mail it to you, it's different from what you saw online. So, and I never even got my money back. But I'm like, okay, these people are telling me money back guarantee, and I have 30 days to let them know if I'm interested or not. So I took the leap of faith. And because at that time, where I was, I needed something to change. So I was willing to look at it. And so I did my due diligence. I watched all the videos, followed all the instructions to the latter. And I decided that yes, this business might actually be what I need to change all of this situation that I'm in right now. It would give me more time because I can manage it remotely, you know. It would help me earn more money because that's what I needed. I needed to stop working all this so many hours. So that is really my journey, you know, like it checked my boxes and I took that leap of faith. I'm not a social media person, but people are doing it and they're earning legitimate income from this business. So why not me? Why must I sit at the sideline with my arms folded and still continue this work to pay bill cycle? No. So that was that was where, you know, at that point where the whole thing changed for me. Like, no, I can't continue like this. I don't want to die young. God forbid. My kids are still young. I want to live a full life, a healthy full life. So yes, that's actually how I came about, you know, and my
Yeah,
why,
Exactly.
that's
the
great.
reason why.
Yeah, that's a wild story. That's nuts. Working 6 straight night shifts in a row.
Yep.
That's
I've
crazy.
done it.
Yeah, I found there's in our in our team there's a lot of professionals that are starting this business. So that's what kind of interested me when I first started, was that there's a lot of people that they make good money. So I was
Yeah.
thinking, well, why on earth would they want to start a business? And then I start hearing stories like yours, where like they're literally just working to death. Like
Yeah.
there's what
Right.
kind of life is that?
That's not a life.
So,
I'm telling you,
yeah,
I've been
you're
there. That's not
if
a
you're
life.
not living, you're just slowly dying, right?
You're just
So
slowly dying. I'm
yeah,
telling you. It was
yeah.
because
Well, that's
even with
very
the
good.
Tylenols I was popping, it would give me relief for a few hours, 3 hours, 4 hours at the most, and then the headache just comes back. You know, so yeah, that's not life. That's how people drop dead sometimes. It's
Yeah,
not.
yeah. No, it's good to find something that can kind of supplement things without having to work like a straight 12 hour shift.
Absolutely.
And
Absolutely.
I've done that too. Work 2 or 3 jobs. I've worked 16-hour days and go home and sleep and go and do it again the next day. So that
Mhm.
certainly is no fun. So
Yeah.
so our story was very similar to yours.
Definitely.
So how about the next question that everyone's going to ask you? What kind of results? How to go.
Oh, the journey. The journey at the beginning was a slow one. You know, I tell people when I have new people joining, starting this business with me, I tell them everybody's journey in this business is different. Some people start and, you know, they start to see results right away. Others, it takes time, like they have to take time and build. And that was it for me. It took me months to actually start to see results. And when I actually look back now, I realized that it was mainly because I was not following the training. You know, with all our comprehensive training, we're supposed to follow it step by step. I was skipping things. I was watching certain things that I was not implementing. So I was kind of just all over the place. And then secondly, before I started this business, I'm not a social media person. So it took me a while to come out of that my balloon, that my cocoon of just being, you know, keeping to myself and then actually being on social media and sharing things, doing, you know, sharing my posts, recording videos. All of these things took me time to get to where I am now. So it took me months to actually see the difference. But I mean, I wasn't discouraged because I saw people doing this business, but some of them started before me. But I see their results. I'm seeing some people going, you know, going to their mailbox, picking up the four checks, five checks, six checks, 20 checks, 30 checks, you know, going to the bank, depositing four figures, five figures, six figures. And I'm like, these people are doing it right, and we're all following this same platform. We all have this same training, so they probably were following their training. So when I circled back around and then I started my training and I actually started to follow step by step, and then I also started to implement what I was learning or what was being taught in the training, and then I started to see changes when I started to run my first conversion ad actually brought me my first distributor. He's a nurse practitioner, by the way. He's a nurse practitioner and he has two thriving practices already before he even came into this business. So, and he was my first distributor, and he's an eagle. Like he started and he was just all over the place because he was so excited. He's like, I've been in this country for what 20 years and plus, and I didn't even know that something like this existed, you know. So, but I found out that I started to see results when I started to follow the training, when I started to implement what I was learning, and then of course when I started to how would I say, open up myself to the possibilities in this business, to the opportunities this business brings, and to actually be able to start to imagine what I want my life to be like 2 years down the line, 3 years down the line. And you know where I am right now, I'm consistently earning four figures from this business now, compared to sometimes when I get my checks and I try to calculate it with what I'm earning as a nurse now. Sometimes one check in the mail, when my checks come in the mail, it's more than one bi-weekly pay. So, and before, when I get cancelled at work, sometimes, you know, you have to start thinking, oh my God, now I've been cancelled tonight, you know, because you're thinking at the end of the pay week, that pay will not look like it should look because now you're missing 12 hours. You know. But recently I was actually dressing up for work, and then they called me, oh, we're sorry, we have to cancel you for tonight. And I jumped, like I couldn't even, I jumped, and then I asked myself, like, I'm like, oh my God, did I just jump? I was
Amazing.
so excited. Like, I'm like, I can stay home tonight. I can, you know, spend more time with my family. And I quickly went to my back office, and I knew I was expecting some money, but I didn't know if they had mailed the check yet. So you know how we can track our income. And then I went and I'm like, oh, thank God they've mailed out my checks. So I'm fine. Even if they cancel me tonight, I am still fine. I don't need to use my PTO to cover it because I'm trying to save up on my PTO. So that would have been another alternative. So that is like a genuine feeling, you know, of not having to work and work and work just because you're trying to make sure that check when it comes actually makes sense. And when you're done paying all these bills, you still have something extra, a little bit extra on the side, you know. But then when you know you are expecting some money from your side business that is even more than those 2 weeks check that is coming, you're excited. You are fine. Even if you don't go to work,
Yeah.
you're okay. And that was the feeling for me. So yes, I am seeing results now because I am more dedicated to building my business. I am more open to learning new things, and I'm following the training. So
Absolutely amazing. Yeah, this is so important. You need to come out from your comfort zone, right? Which
yeah,
is you
you need
need. And
to.
then,
You need
yeah,
to.
so and then you're getting so much result and congratulations. Yeah. And
Thank
more
you.
blessing coming for sure. That's what
Amen to that. Amen to that. Amen to that. That's the good thing. This business keeps giving. Honestly, it does. It keeps giving. If you don't give up on, you know, along the way,
yes.
and you
Yeah.
keep pushing, you will eventually, you know, get to that destination
Oh
where you
yeah,
want to be.
absolutely.
But
Yes.
everybody's journey in the business is different. It is not a get rich quick scheme. I always
Yeah.
like to let people understand that. But your
Yes.
journey, you can come in and, you know, your business picks up right away. And some people come in, it takes them a little while to get comfortable and then to actually start to see results. But it doesn't mean the system is not working. It is working. So
Yeah.
yes.
Exactly. Thanks for your
Yeah,
answer. It's wonderful,
yeah, it's a
wonderful.
good story. It's
Yeah.
I like stories like that because it's realistic. You know, you
Yes.
Yes,
start
yes,
you start
yes.
a business, you
Yep.
finish
I tell
a
people
little bit of
I've been
time.
there. I know where the shoe pinches. I know how it feels to be working 6 nights a week. I
Yeah.
mean, I don't sleep at home. And when I'm back in the morning, I sleep a few hours, but you know, I still have to get up. I have to cook. I have to do my motherly duties. I have to take care of my kids. And then I'm back to, you know, my daughter would ask me, Mommy, are you going to work again tonight? She used to be so sad. She used to be
Yeah.
so sad when I'm getting ready for work, I know. But now, since my business started to generate consistent four figures for me every month, I only work 3 shifts. After my 3 shifts every week, I'm done for the week. I have not picked up one overtime since last year. I've not done one overtime, no. And even I can switch with people. You know, some people are like, "Can you work this day for me?" And I work your shift this day. That's fine.
Yeah.
I switch, but I only work 3 shifts a week so that I have the remaining 4 days for myself, my business, and my children, my family, because this is something I'm building for myself. Wherever it is I work, it's not my business. Like when
Yeah.
I'm leaving or when I retire, I'm not taking the business with me.
Yeah.
I'm not taking the hospital with me. It doesn't belong to me. I just work there, So, but this is something, this is mine. This is something I'm building for myself, for my family, something I can leave for my children, and this is my plan is to retire early. Oh my God, I don't want to work till I'm 65 and then retire on 401k. No, 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 no. Because even we have some nurses that after retirement, they still come back to pick up one shift, here and there. They pick up one shift, two shifts, and all, because whatever it is they're getting from their 401k is not enough to sort out their bills, and they still have to come back to work. I don't want to do that. I've worked
Yeah.
all these years when I'm supposed to be resting. No, I don't want to see anything that looks like a hospital, except I'm going in to see my doctor.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
So yeah.
That's good. So, yeah, I mean, the next thing that we always like to ask, what advice can you give to somebody that is undecided on this? What would you say to them?
Oh,
Yeah.
I would say whatever it is that is making you undecided. I mean, I get it. Some of us are not big on social media. Some of us think we're not tech savvy. So because I'm not very good at using computers, I don't think I can do this business. And some people, they're just like, I think I'll just continue working my regular job. I don't understand all this they are doing and all that. So I would tell them, whatever your reason is for sitting on the fence for this long, um come out of your comfort zone, learn something new, ask questions, because for some people it's mainly because they don't understand what this business is about. And that is why you need to sign up, watch the free webinar. It is free, no obligation. After watching the webinar, of course, there are steps at the end of the webinar that will be explained to you. We do have a one-time refundable membership fee. You get access to all the business information, and then you come with your jotter and paper. You have all your boxes. If you're looking for time freedom, have it there. If you're looking for financial freedom, if you're looking for something legitimate that you pay taxes, you have it there. If you're looking for something that can earn you consistent 4, 5, 6 figures, just have your boxes, whatever it is you're looking for, and see if it checks your boxes. For me, it checked my boxes at that time because I really needed something to earn me more money, and I didn't have to work so much. And my first question when I did my strategy call was, is it legitimate? I'm based in the United States. I don't want problem with IRS. So I was so particular about that. Like, is it legit? I don't want anybody knocking on my door and say you're under arrest for whatever it is that I did that I didn't even know I did. So when I got on the call with my coach, the first question I asked her, is it a legitimate business? Because there are so many things online, and one has to be careful, and it's okay to be skeptical. It's okay to, to be afraid, but then don't stay stuck there. Do your findings, do your find out if it is real. Watch all the videos that would explain everything to you. See if it checks your boxes. And once all of your boxes are checked, I tell you, do not sit or continue to sit on that information. Get started, jump into it, and then start the process. And before you know it, you will start to reap what it is you're looking for. So whoever it is that is on the fence and you're seeing this, I used to be on the fence, yes. But I've tried both sides, working 2 jobs, long hours, not resting, burnt out. And I've tried the other side of having a side business that is generating extra money for me. I can tell you, I'd rather be on this side. I'd never want to be on this side. So whatever your reasons are, I encourage you, ask questions. We're always willing to share information. And the information is even right there at your fingertips. You just need to ask for information, be willing to pay for access. That's another problem most people have. When they watch the webinar and it gets to the end where they tell them, okay, for business information and breakdown, then there's a refundable, membership fee. Then they step back. Learn to pay for access. If you don't know
Yeah.
something and you find somebody that knows it, if they need you to pay them to teach you what it is, learn to pay for access. That's a very important thing for a lot of people. They want everything to be given to them free. I've had people ask me, why do I have to pay? You
Yeah.
expect us to put all of this information in the free webinar? Like, who does that?
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
So yes, I encourage anyone to look into it. It is legitimate.
Very good. Yeah,
Thank
no,
you.
it's the real deal. So, so for anybody watching that's on the fence, that was a very good explanation.
Yes,
So
yeah.
our system can work for anybody. That's the beauty. We have the economy of scale. So there's a
Yep.
lot of people involved, which is why it's so affordable.
Yeah.
I've told people that they say they want to get into like affiliate marketing or drop shipping. They want to do it on their own. I'm like, well, sure.
You can.
You'll see very quickly how much it costs to
How
actually
much it
do
costs? Yep.
Yeah.
to
But we
actually
have
have
everything
the
set up.
systems available to us and all that stuff. It's very, very expensive. So, go right ahead if you really think you can do it better.
You can do
And
it.
there
Yeah.
is no
Yep.
mentorship, there is no
Yeah.
coaching, which is our business, right? Exactly.
Yep. We
So
have all
like,
that. We have you and we have
Very,
a
it's a
supportive
very cutthroat
community.
world out there. Yeah.
Yep, we have a supportive community, about 235,000 people presently globally. So you
yeah.
always have support. You're not alone. You have your coach, you have your mentor, and you always have
And the
help in the
community.
community.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's great. So, that was a good chat. I
Yeah.
hope
Thank you.
everybody learned a lot from you. It was very nice interviewing you. You're,
Thank you,
a
Dustin.
lovely person to
Thank you,
speak with. So
Mama.
we hope to have you on
Thanks.
again. So,
Yeah. Thank you
Yes,
so much for joining with
absolutely.
us.
Anytime, anytime. Thank
all
you
right.
guys
Thank
for
you very
having
much.
me.
Best
Thank
of
Thank
you,
luck.
thank
you.
you, thank
Bye,
you.
guys.
Bye.
Oh, who are you talking